Welcome everybody to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. What is going on? My name is Michael Fletcher, and I am alongside Anthony Florio and Dee Dee Woodson. Michael Bullock should be hopefully be coming in momentarily. If not, then you guys will see him on Friday night. Oh my goodness, what a night this was! Smackdown Live, and yes, tonight it happened. The steel cage match for the WWE Smackdown Women's title was the main event of the evening. However, before we get there was a lot of other news coming out of SmackDown Live. A very newsworthy and very good show that I thought it was. And who knows, folks, tonight we might have a ridiculously over rant because what happened during one of these segments, from what I've heard from my producers, somebody is hopping mad right now, and we might have to lock the door. I might have to jump under this table when that moment comes later tonight. We'll get into that in a little bit. Of course, we also got the Mikey's Mindset, as I have my thoughts about the mid-season finale of Lucha Underground. And we also had some big news also from the world of Ring of Honor, including one fight that I know Anthony and myself were both excited to see. Jushin Thunder Liger versus Jay Lethal. We'll get into all that information, and I'll also set the table for the next episode. So, with that said, let's dive right in to SmackDown Live. And my goodness, what a way to start the show. Shane McMahon comes out, the commissioner of SmackDown Live, and he started hyping about the Royal Rumble. Then he drops a major surprise, saying that the WWE title will be defended at their next SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view, which is Elimination Chamber, which is 4 weeks from now. 2 weeks after the Royal Rumble event in the Alamo Dome. So 2 weeks later is the Elimination Chamber, and that fight will be for the WWE title. Well, promptly that brought out AJ Styles, and he goes absolutely ballistic. He rips on Shane McMahon, calling him a horrible leader, saying that there's no way in hell I'm putting my belt on the line. You're out of your freaking mind. Well, that prompts John Cena to come out. And before Cena could even get one word in, AJ Styles is like, no, you shut up. You got nothing to say about this. You got nothing to do with this. I'm the champion. You ain't nothing. Shut up. Quite frankly, Cena couldn't believe it, but he played the part role. He played the part. He's like, okay, I'll shut up. I'm not gonna say anything. It's all on you. You're fine. The next thing he's like, who else is going to interrupt me? I'm the WWE champion. I am the face that runs the place. I'm the champ that runs the camp. Who else is gonna interrupt me? Well, former Intercontinental Champion, former WWE Champion, The Miz showed up with Maryse. And now, what happened with The Miz and AJ? Wow, I was even shocked to see this. Definitely, this exploded out of nowhere. And the next thing we know was, Miz was saying, you know what? I deserve to get the opportunity. I want to fight in the Elimination Chamber, and I'm going to bring relevance back to the WWE title. And your little mom's haircut, your soccer mom haircut, you can go back to Japan for all I care. I don't care, because while you were in Japan, I was ruling WWE. I was the face that ran the place. And as a matter of fact, I was the A-lister. Everybody wanted it to see the moneymaker. I was the big star of WWE. Before you started phrasing beat up John Cena, I was beating up John Cena at the main event of WrestleMania. True, quoted. Okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But one thing you got to remember, Miz, your main event at WrestleMania sucked. as much as the pay-per-view sucked that night. One of the worst WrestleManias ever. Don't even get me started on that shit. But one thing was for sure. Next thing you know, John Cena's like, yo, champ, he just disrespected you. Are you really gonna let him are you really gonna let him do that to you? Well, then AJ comes swinging back, and he's like, "So what you got to do? Are you gonna hold? Do I need to fight you, or are you gonna let your wife? Or is your wife gonna be fighting the battles for you as always?" Ooh, now it's getting deep. So then John Cena comes around with Miz. He's like, "Yo, he just disrespected you and your wife, dude. Those are fighting words in my town. I don't care who you are. I would drop the gloves and start kicking somebody's ass right now." So Shane McMahon's like, "Okay, wait, time out, stop, everybody, hold up. You two want to fight? You two are getting a little pissed off. You guys want to get lit? All right, that's fine with me. Let's do this. AJ Styles versus The Miz, non-title, and we do it right here, right now. Give me a referee. Let's start the show." John Cena jumps out, goes up into hangs out with my boy Mauro Ranallo, David Otunga, and JBL. They started doing a 4-man run on over there in the commentary. And our first fight of the night was The Miz versus AJ Styles. Unfortunately, the fight gets thrown out because AJ decided to throw The Miz into John Cena. Cena caught him, pushes him to the side. The brawl starts breaking out. Ring the bell, double DQ, fight gets thrown out, no contest. But then at the end, Cena stands tall as he basically, The Miz tries to get a skull crushing finale on Cena. He ends up getting an AA. Then AJ tries to do the phenomenal forearm on Cena. Cena ducks out, grabs AJ Styles, drops him with an attitude adjustment. And the last image we had was Cena with the WWE title. I get to lead off on all of this. So this was a great way to start SmackDown Live. I really liked the promo segment. I loved Cena interjecting themselves, but not like being too over on this one, because the stars of this one was AJ Styles, and I'll even give credit to The Miz. I thought The Miz was really good too. I thought The Miz played his role really well. I loved what he brought to the body of work, and that's kind of a Miz that I want to see a little more of. So I thought he was really good. I loved how they brought it out. Shane being that authority figure, he didn't let the things get a little too haywire, but he was really quick on the draw. The positioning and the announcement of the Elimination Chamber, that's something great, because now we got another thing that I can focus on, another thing that I need to worry about. But quite frankly, I don't have any problem with that. I don't mind talking about the Elimination Chamber. And yes, it will be a Cerebral Smack Talk exclusive. You'll get the preview and the recap only on this channel, only on Braves Fan 95. So be there, get ready. It's going to be awesome. And then, of course, they did, and he also was hyping about the Royal Rumble as well, because Raw's been talking about it. It was obvious SmackDown was going to get into it. But one thing was for sure, and I don't know if anybody noticed this, last night there was a dipsy-do botcheroo on Michael Cole's part, because unbeknownst to any of us, he said that Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt had both entered the Royal Rumble. We didn't know about it until that night. And first off, Michael Cole, why the hell are you saying anything about two SmackDown guys that are going to be at the Royal Rumble match? Shouldn't that have been Mauro Ranallo or JBL or David Otunga to talk about it? Dinkelberg. But anyway, the match itself, I got to give it an NA, because the fight was a throwout, even though the match was really good. I really loved the body of work. We had a couple of commercial breaks along the way. So, sometimes when you get more than one commercial on that fight, it gets really good. So going into it, I was talking about maybe 2.5 stars before the ending. And then the finish, it does take a little away. Not bad, but normally when there's a double DQ, we automatically call it NA in our eyes. However, I'm going to buck that trend. 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. I thought this was an amazing matchup. Anthony Florio, come on in. The man that tells it like it is. Anthony the Hitman Florio, hit me with it, brother. What did you think about the opening segment on SmackDown Live tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, MF. I mean, that was a very good segment. I got to be real honest. The fans are hot to see Styles and Cena again, which is good to see. SmackDown having it. I got to be honest about the upcoming event coming up. SmackDown having another pay-per-view so quickly after the Royal Rumble is a bit of a drag, even though it is the Elimination Chamber, and I love the Elimination Chamber. One of my all-time favorite matches, and I'm looking forward to reliving all that fun of that. But on top of that, it's nice to have the believable angle where the heel champion complains about it. The promos were solid all around, though Styles was pretty repetitive at points. I also didn't like how quickly he fell for Cena's game to pit him against The Miz. However, he was mostly good, and I like that he took the time to go after the fans. Yeah, that was good. And so that's pretty much all I can say on that as far as the segment is concerned. As far as the match is concerned, the bout is concerned, normally it would be an NA. MF, you're right on that. But I'll actually go a little further than that. 2.5 to 3 stars for me. I would probably say second to third best fight of the night on my end. I wouldn't say Styles wrestled as a babyface there, but I think he was in more of the face position than The Miz was. Testing of the waters, perhaps. Match was decent, as you would expect. And what else? And what else can I say except the match? For the most part, it didn't. The finish of the match didn't thrill me. I think it just didn't have much at stake, and they didn't really push the pace much. Understandable given the situation that played out, but it didn't make for an especially exciting TV segment. Cena looking strong heading into the Royal Rumble makes perfect sense to me, but the crowd didn't react nearly as loudly as I expected at the end of the segment when he held up the championship. So, but was it just me, or did it feel like Memphis was channeling the IWC a little bit? It felt like Memphis was a little bit of an IWC town a little bit, even though it really technically is not. But it kind of had the feel of it a little bit. So that's all I can say about that. The segment, I probably would say maybe second best segment of the night. The fight, about third best, 2.5 to 3. I mean, I enjoyed it all around. I agree with everything MF said. And like I said, I mean, when it comes to the Royal Rumble event coming up, I know it's all about the Rumble match, but as I've said time and time again, I'll say it again here, Cena and Styles for the title is going to steal the show. Period. And a statement and a quotation. Didi Whitson, your thoughts on all that, on this 2-for-1 deal to start SmackDown Live?
Wow, what a way to start the show. I mean, the segment was awesome. The match was good up till the end. Not I'm not going to harsh too much on it because you two said most everything on it. For me, yeah, I mean, it was a no contest, but I'll probably give it 2 stars anyway, just because of the quality of the match before the botched up ending. And everybody knows I don't like botched up endings on any kind of match, but it is what it is. So, awesome segment. Awesome match up till the end. So let's just move on.
Sound the alarms, batten down the hatches. It's about to get ugly. I got a feeling it's about to go haywire right now, folks. This is why the TV14 label was printed on the show, because of moments like this. Then we got an in-ring segment between Nikki Bella and Natalya, and Nikki was talking about the brawl that happened last week, that she, that it started last week. She wanted it to end it. Let's go at it. She called Natalia the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be at stabbing people in the back. And maybe that's a little nod to Bret the Hitman Hart because of his moniker. But then Natalia showed up in the concourse level of the arena and went to the souvenir stand, promptly brought up, no problem there. And the next thing you know, she walks into the merchandise stand and said, how apropos. She's like, I don't see any merchandise, but there's merchandise of my uncle. There's merchandise of Nikki Bella, but they're displayed almost together. And look at that, apropos, Cena and Nikki Bella together. And then she's like, well, thing that my uncle and Nikki both have in common, they're both gonna die alone. Okay, when I heard that moment, I think I heard something thrown or shattered, a couple of blocks down where I live, or I heard some kind of like this was going to be on, because I know Florio. Anybody who says anything bad about Bret the Hitman Hart, you better be prepared for a fight, because it will get bowling shoe ugly. And the next thing we know, Natalia starts grabbing Nikki Bella's stuff, and it looks like she was gonna throw it into the garbage. Nikki's like, "What the hell are you doing?" The next thing you know, they both go through the table, a brawl breaks out, and it got medieval ugly. It got so ugly that Nikki Bella slapped a couple of plants, guys who were supposed to be security guards, and she smacked the living daylights out of these two guys and went right back after them. The crowd in the concourse level were going nuts. Let them fight. Let them fight. I mean, wow. Okay, Anthony. Oh man, you get to lead off on this. I can't. I don't know why I'm doing this, because I'm feeling that a ridiculously over rant might be coming here. So, folks, full warning. Uh,
Oh no.
you're not going? Oh,
No.
I thought you would.
I know you want me to go there, but I'm not going there.
Okay.
Me.
All right. Go ahead. It's yours.
I'm just going to be honest here. I'm just going to give you my honest thoughts about the segment here. Going into it, honestly, I was like, ugh, we really have to go down this road again. We really have to do this verbiage again. But what we got for this more than made up for it. My hopes, like I said, going into this, I wasn't all that. I was like, oh, please. I'm like, not this nonsense again. I was ready to like take a snooze. I'm like, wake me up when it's over. But once we got to the good stuff, okay, then I got hooked. All right, where to begin? Natalia wasn't outright terrible here, but there is just something awkward about her delivery that makes it seem kind of sad and desperate. It would be great if that's what they were going for, but it comes across more like she's really struggling with staying in character and remembering her lines simultaneously. The brawl was well done, though, and the fans in the concourse made some noise for them. All in all, another effective angle for this feud. So that's the professional side of it. That's just me being the professional here. But I will be honest here. What Natalia did say, I mean, saying my ex-Uncle Bret, okay, that's too much right there. That's already too much. But then saying about how Nikki Bella and Uncle Bret were going to die alone, yeah, that did rub me the wrong way. I will be honest with you on that. I mean, you may as well have added me into that, being the forever bachelor that I am. But yeah, that definitely rubbed me the wrong way. So that would be like someone saying that to me. And if someone ever did say that to me, then I would go off. Then that would be ridiculously over, Jesse Ventura, the whole 9 yards. But I am the man of good faith here, and I'm gonna let this little mookie stink go, let this little thing go here. But it did, even though it did rub me the wrong way. I didn't like the ex-uncle thing, and I also didn't like saying that how Bret Hart and Nikki Bella would die alone. Last time I checked, I'm pretty sure Bret Hart's got a family. You know, I'm pretty sure he's happily married and the whole 9 yards. I already know that for a fact, and so he's not going to die alone. And here's the man who, by the way, just survived cancer. Thank you very much. So, yeah, little mini rant there, but I'm not going to go all full off. So, even though I did consider those remarks, disrespectful, like MF would say, channeling his inner Stephen A. Smith, disrespectful, absolutely. And so I'm not going to go full on Jesse mode there. I'm not going to say, oh, this was an atrocity, miscarriage, what the whole 9 yards, but no. So all in all, despite the feeling going into it, I went from feeling to wow, well done. And like I said, it was effective again. The brawl was great, and that's all I can say about that. So I didn't have overall, I didn't really have that much of a problem with it. The only things that rubbed me the wrong way was when she said ex-Uncle Bret and Nikki Bella were going to die alone. Yeah, may as well have said that to me. So that's all I can say on that. So, all right, Didi Woodson, let's as you all know, Didi Woodson is our women's expert here on the women's angles and matches. Did they deliver here? Did you feel going in or what? Didi, are you there?
I can see her thing, but I think she might have a mic issue. Unfortunately, yeah. All right, so Dee will get that straightened out momentarily, but I guess the show must go on, and we're gonna get right back into it when we get into a very good match. Dean Ambrose goes one-on-one with Randy Orton. Now, the reason why this happened was because earlier in the night, after the first segment, Shane McMahon was heading back into the locker room area, and they were saying, "Hey, yo, Dean Ambrose comes in and he's like, yo, dude, Shane, I need a new belt. I need a new Intercontinental title, and this one smells like a whole bunch of raspberries, a whole bunch of other things, pickles, what God knows what the hell the Miz did with this belt. I need a new belt." Now, Shane's like, look, I would love to do that, but it's only one belt per company. I'm not going to change it. I'm sorry. You got to keep the belt as is. Get rid of the belt anytime soon. So, Didi, are you back, my love?
I don't know what happened. Sometime during Anthony's segment, everything started sounding funny, so I'm not too sure what happened there. So I thought, well, I'll just restart the.
That actually has happened to me a few times in my day too, where I guess it goes into like a freeze mode or something like that.
Yeah,
And
I don't know what happened, but all I know is, I mean, it sounded like he just sucked on some sort of a balloon and made his voice even more dense and deeper than it already is. So. And that's saying a lot because Anthony does have a very deep voice. So, and then you sounded like the opposite end, like you'd sucked on helium. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, and now it just like cut it out on her. All right, so just continue on, and we'll just talk about the next match of the night. And so we'll get into the Randy Orton Dean Ambrose fight. What is there to say? This was a great match. I'm gonna give this between 3 to 3.5 stars. I mean, this was a really good match. Dean Ambrose does win the match, defeats Randy Orton, And I mean, my God, I mean, there was really nothing else to say about this. So Dee Dee, if you're back, we'll do this. Give us a brief breakdown about what you thought about the women's segment. Your headset was unplugged. Oh, okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the women's thing first, and then you get to lead off on Dean Ambrose versus Randy Orton.
Okay, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I could hear you loud and clear. You're
All right.
2020 on my end.
Good. I don't know what else is going on over here, but this last one was my headset just came unplugged, so I don't know. Let's just hope no more issues. I've had enough of those to last me a lifetime over this last weekend. As for the segment, I can go both. I could go both ways on this. The segment as a storyline, great, real good, loved it. The segment as in personal feelings, I could go on the total rant side of this, with all the disrespect Natalia came out with on it, especially, you know, going as far as to almost literally tossing the merchandise in the trash. So I'm not going to hash too much on it. But yeah, it was, you know, like I said, as for storyline wise, great segment. It makes you kind of, you know, look forward to the match itself coming up, because it's not quite to the go home state yet, but Natalia does need to watch some of what she's saying, because there's going to be several fans, not just me and Anthony, that's going to get very offended by what she's saying here and some of the actions she does. So as for Ambrose and Orton, for me, I really liked the match, and you could definitely tell that something is up with the Wyatt family, and you know, just the fact that Luke Harper completely walked out at the end there, it makes you wonder, you know, exactly what's going on. Bray said a little bit later on in the show that next week that we're going to have Orton versus Luke Harper to try to work out these differences so that the family can be stronger than ever. But I don't know. Are we really going to see them stronger than ever, or are we going to see more of this possible jealousy? I think is what Luke's actually showing is to Orton, because Orton's kind of stole his thunder as being the second in the family, and I think he kind of sees it as, you know, Orton's replacing him. But you know, I still like the way the match went. Ambrose definitely went toe for toe with Orton. He definitely proved his point, and it'll be interesting to see if he targets one of the other Wyatt family members next, or if it's going to end here with Randy Orton. For me, I'm going to give it a solid 3 stars. But yeah, you know, I've thoroughly enjoyed the match. I don't know if you guys will agree with me on that, but Florio, I'm going to toss it on over to you.
This is definitely one of my fights of the night. I don't know exactly how to rank it as far as you know, whether it was the fight of the night or the second best fight, but it was one of my fights of the night for sure. 3.25, 3.5 stars. That's how I'm going to go with it. It was rough. Not sure what was going on in the first half, if neither were on the same page or what. But these two should have had a better output than that. Too methodical at times as well. And I'll be, even though I like this match a lot better than the Styles and Miz bout, but they didn't break any new ground either. The element of adding Wyatt and Harper added an element of danger for Ambrose to the match, and it made things a little more engaging to watch. The lunatic lariat should be allowed once a match. Ambrose uses it far too often, and it looks kind of silly at times. But other than that, though, a very good match to say the very least. I think it's more like 3 to 3.25. I think 3.5 was a little too hasty, but it is one of my fights in the night, though. I agree with that. 3 to 3.25. That's really all I can say on that. And Orton and Harper next week. Who knows? I think that could be where we get the implosion, or maybe we could get the full-on implosion in the Rumble match. You never know. But all signs are pointing to a Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt match at WrestleMania. That's all I can say on that. And if that's the case, hopefully we finally get the match that we've been waiting for several months, ever since this whole thing started. So that's all I can say there. So 3 to 3.25 stars. One of my top fights of the night for sure. 100% agree with everything you guys said. So MF, we're going to get into something really awesome here because we had a hometown boy in the house and another one of my all-time favorite analyst idols, if you will.
Like Shawn Michaels used to say, we had the kingfish. Yeah, that's right. Jerry, the King Lawler. And he presided over the King's court. Very rare to see the King lately now. Like Anthony was saying, he was about 67 years old now, Anthony. So, I mean, but it was in his hometown, Memphis, Tennessee. His guest was Dolph Ziggler. And boy, did this get personal very quickly. They were talking about, his new attitude lately, and King definitely went back to the face role that he was back in the day. He was a little bit on the heel, but now he's it seems like for tonight and tonight only, he was a true face, and I really think that it was a really good look and a feel and the whole 9 yards. But then Ziggler, his new attitude, and he doubled down. He's like, look, if you keep asking me these questions, I'm gonna finish what I did 4 years ago. And Lawler's like, well, I one more. He's like, you can change your attitude, you can do whatever you want in the past, but that's going to make you nothing but a loser. And that was it. Ziggler hits him with a super kick right into the chest area. He got so bad that it actually had JBL jumping out of his commentary table and running into the ring. And I mean, you want to talk about a very powerful segment. Now, I'm going to say it. I don't think the face turn for Ziggler really worked. I do like the new heel attitude. I'm not 1,000% sold, but I'm going to give it time. I'm going to give it a chance, but I like where it's going. I hope that they really benefit by giving it a better look, a better attitude, maybe some better competition. I'm not really sold on Apollo Crews. Maybe the Kalisto thing would definitely work. I think that would be a nice little change of pace. But I also feel like because of him disrespecting a legend, and look what happened. JBL actually got out of the commentary table and went into the ring. Maybe JBL goes after Ziggler, at least tries to get his, say, hey, what you doing? We'll wait and see what happens, but I like the direction that it's going in. Anthony Florio, what says you?
Well, MF, I'll tell you. What says me? This was the segment of the night. This was well done. I mean,
Agreed.
This was a very good segment. I mean, oh man. I mean, what do we always say when they go too far? What do we always like to say? They went there. Oh yeah, Dolph Ziggler went there, referring to showing the video of that tag team match that him and Lawler were in on that edition of Monday Night Raw, September of 2012, which of course it was a few minutes after that, that Jerry Lawler, as you all know, suffered the heart attack. And of course, I remember very well going into that night. I mean, we contemplated canceling the Wrestling Forum that night. And of course, that was back when Derek was running the show. And yeah, and that will forever go down as the most emotionally charged edition of the Wrestling Forum we've done in the almost 5 years we've been doing this now. I mean, my goodness, I can't believe we've been doing this 5 years already. Unreal. But no, I mean, he went there, and Ziggler was, saying to Lawler, "Oh, I know you blame me for it. I know you do." And he's like, "If you ask me another stupid question, well, I'm going to finish what I started 4 years ago." Whoa, okay, that's going there. And then Lawler, when he responded by saying, how does it make you feel knowing that every time you change your attitude, you're still a loser? Oh, wow, that was great. And then JBL coming in, after Ziggler cheap shot at him and the whole 9 yards. I mean, yeah, I mean, we all know how close JBL and Lawler are. I mean, two great heel commentators in the whole 9 yards. But man, oh man, that was awesome. And MF, you're absolutely right. Ziggler, yeah, he sucked as a babyface. You're absolutely right. And like you, I'm not yet sold on the heel character either. But it is a welcome change of pace for him. But he just doesn't seem to have a handle on what this character is yet. So I'm definitely right there with you on that. Even though this was a great step, he took a giant leap there tonight. I mean, that was very good, and the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, and Ziggler, and normally we see Ziggler, yelling and screaming through a promo. I mean, case in point, go back to that epic promo he had with The Miz last year on that SmackDown last September that MF and I, raved about. But he wasn't yelling and screaming through this. He took a much quieter, more measured approach in an interview with his new attitude, and it worked in comparison. So that's all I can say about that. This was a phenomenal segment. This was the segment of the night, hands down, no question about it. And keep your eye on the if you have the WWE Network, keep an eye out on the Talking Smack show. That's going to be coming up at the top of the hour, following 205 Live. Shane O'Mac is going to be guest hosting, and Jerry the King Lawler is actually scheduled to be a guest on that show. So who knows? Maybe Talking Smack has also served as a hotbed for storyline progression, which is what SmackDown Live is very well known for. So it'll be interesting to see what Jerry the King Lawler has to say regarding what Dolph Ziggler did to him tonight on Talking Smack. So definitely keep an eye out on that at the top of the hour once 205 Live wraps up. So segment of the night, well done. And even though MF and I are not sold on the Ziggler heel turn yet, I think this was a giant leap for the new heel Ziggler. So well done. So with all that said, Didi Woodson, your thoughts on this awesome segment?
You pretty much summed it up. It's an awesome segment. Definitely the segment of the night. Not a lot to say about it. I mean, it was just very well done. Ziggler is a heel. Well, sometimes some of the heel turns they've had with him have been pretty good. This one's a little borderline. I don't think he's fully behind it like he was, the last time that he was a heel. And but like you said, this definitely was a good showing of him as a heel. So it's a good start to hopefully get him turned around to where he's not so much the fan favorite and a little bit more the negative side of things. So, like I said, not much more to say. So let's just move on.
There's nothing more to say. It's main event time. For the first time ever, SmackDown Live gave the women the ball. And it was not just the moment, It was what myself, Anthony Florio, Dee Woodson, and I know if Michael Bullock was here, we all were begging for it, and they delivered it to us. A steel cage fight for the WWE Smackdown Women's title. The champion, Alexa Bliss, the challenger, Becky Lynch, and when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout and still SmackDown Women's Champion Alexa Bliss, thanks to a little interference by La Luchadora. She got involved. She got involved not physically in the fight, but she made her presence known and was enough of the distraction for Alexa to win the title. And then behind that, a beatdown segment, and La Luchadora was unmasked, and surprise, 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 who was under the mask? But let me say it, one of the greatest women's wrestlers in the history of professional wrestling, multi-time WWE Women's Champion, multi-time TNA Knockouts Champion, and maybe a front runner for Hall of Fame. We'll see. Mickie James is back after she made her triumphant return, after she gave a gallant effort against Asuka at Takeover Toronto, where she was unsuccessful of winning the NXT Women's title. She has made her return and is now a part of the SmackDown roster. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you it was going to be Mickie James under that La Luchadora mask? Before I get into the match, MF, yeah, keep your mic on. The age-old question. I mean, we talked about this. We had a little chat last night. You know, we had a behind-the-scenes chat like we usually do after our shows, and this came up. We talked about this, and well, unfortunately, the double indemnity has arrived for you, MF. Now, who do you root for? Do you root for your current love interest, Becky Lynch, or do you root for your love interest from 12 years ago? And I know someone you still have the hots for, Mickie James. And I know once you saw her, and I'm going to be honest with you folks, I swear, when La Luchadora was unmasked and it was Mickie James, I swear I could hear MF gurring like a madman from a mile away. Did you not, MF?
First off, I wasn't gurring. Just to be real honest with you, no, I did not. But let's just say my jaw hit the floor, and I was like, oh no, what now? Now what do I do? Because, like you said, I got a major love affair with Becky Lynch. Love her body of work. Love what she brings to the ring. And yes, my love for Mickie James has been well documented in many wrestling organizations. I was firmly on her side going into the fight when she fought Trish Stratus at WrestleMania. That's really where I guess I'll even admit it, when that crazier than a pet coon, like JR used to say, when the inmates started to run the asylum, I was one of those inmates that would not have minded the warden in that nut house. I probably would have been right there with her. So I don't know. It's tough because now it's probably going to happen. It probably will happen now. Mickie James versus Becky Lynch, 1-on-1. And now I feel what Michael Bullock had to feel at last year's WrestleMania when Shane McMahon and The Undertaker fought.
Yep.
Because now I feel in that helpless thing, I don't know what to do, and it
Yeah,
sucks. It
I know.
sucks right now for me because now I feel what Bullock felt a year or so ago, around this time 1 year ago.
Indeed, indeed, and yeah, I was just saying that from a personal standpoint. If we were doing the commentary, I know you would have let out your infamous "what." You would have, trust me. I mean, I could hear you do that from a mile away as well. Um, when La Luchadora unmasked to be Mickey James. Read your dirt sheets, people. That's all I can say about that. Read your dirt sheets. I do. MF does, and so does Dee Dee Woodson. I mean, we all read our dirt sheets, and I read the dirt sheets, and what can I say is I am not at all surprised. I believe I had this one. The dirt sheets had this one. They said she was going to be there anyway, but what did it for me? How did I know it was her? That spinning heel kick. I know that kick, that little Savat kick. We all remember it. MF and I remember that from back when we were doing our Raw commentary, like JR and the King, back in the day. So I knew once I saw that kick, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Mickey James. That's not Deonna Purrazzo. No, that's Mickey James. Besides, Deonna Purrazzo is now working in TNA. So that's all I can say there. So, all right, now as far as the fight is concerned, I got to be honest. This was the fight of the night for me. 3.25 to 3.5 stars. Satisfying main event match aside from the predictable finish, but the reveal made up for it. It was pretty clear this was a different La Luchadora based on certain physical attributes, but I'm glad it was revealed to be Mickey James. She's better now than she was last time she was in the WWE. And she offers experience and a great track record to the Smackdown Women's division. It's a great development for all the women on the show, and for Becky Lynch specifically in the short term. And who knows? I'm going to drop another little possible bombshell here. We got an Elimination Chamber event coming up on February the 12th. Do we not? In Phoenix, Arizona. We already know we're going to see the guys going at it for the WWE Championship. Maybe a Smackdown Women's Elimination Chamber match now seems like it could be a distinct possibility.
Well, you do have more than, I mean, all you would need is 6 women to complete to do a women's elimination chamber. I think you could have done it, but now that you have Mickey James added to the list, I mean, it is definitely a distinct possibility and very more likely that a women's elimination chamber match could become a reality. So yes, I mean, you could have pulled it off with 6 prior. I mean, you could have used, and this is just my thoughts. You could have used, because you could have had Nikki Bella, Natalia, Carmella, use Naomi, Alexa, and I'm missing one.
You said
not
Mickey
Mickey.
Bella. You said Natalia.
Yep.
You said Carmella. I mean, I think it was Becky actually.
It was Becky Lynch. She would have been the 6th. But now to add her to the mix, definitely it's more than possible, more than plausible now, more than ever, do a women's elimination chamber. To put Mickey James in alongside Alexa, and of course and then the other 4 that I had just mentioned previously, that could be it. But I also heard a rumor that there might be another lady that could be coming. That used to work with WWE back in the day. Now, this is all rumors, and this rumor's been running around for a few months now. But if they actually pulled the trigger on this one, this might also be a game changer. Another multi-time women's champion. Another one of my favorites from the day. And if she gets thrown in, just shoot me now. Just shoot me now.
I know where you're going with that. Then you would have then he would have triple indemnity
Yeah.
because of Lynch, Mickey James, and this other one. I already know who it is, but I'm not
You
gonna.
already know. Yeah. When we don't even want to go there because we don't need to go there until if it's actually true or not.
I hope it
If
is.
it's true,
I hope it is.
if it's true, I'm screwed. I'm literally screwed. No pun intended. I'm a goner. At that point, just take me out. Hit me up with upside the head with a steel chair because I'm gonna be in La La Land at that point.
Oh yeah, and when Mickey James and this other lady were feuding back in the day, oh boy, I had to hold you back. Trust me, I know. And I mean, it was one thing when they went at it, but when they were at times tag team partners, oh, that really did it for you. So, but anyways, as far as the bout is concerned, like I said, 3.25 to 3.5 stars, and you know, this was the fight of the night for me. I am so glad that SmackDown Live actually did it. They I mean, what do they always pride themselves on? Being the land of opportunity. And they gave the women the opportunity. They took the ball, they ran with it. They had a great match. The finish was predictable, yes, but this is one of those rare times where predictability was actually for once a good thing. Because now we got Mickey James on the SmackDown Women's roster. That's a major shot in the arm for that roster right there. I mean, if anybody can help the SmackDown Women compete against the Raw Women, which, as we all know, as of now, they're better. If anybody can give them the shot in the arm that they desperately needed, Mickey James is the perfect fodder for that. So, well done, great reveal. I cannot wait to see where this goes. I cannot wait to see Becky Lynch and Mickey James go at it down the road. I hope they do it at Mania. I really do, whether it's for the women's title or not. So that's all I can say on that. So well done all around. 3.25 to 3.5 stars. Great way to close what was yet another very good and strong edition of SmackDown Live. Stop me if you've heard that one before. So, Edie Woodson, how do you follow all of that?
I don't know. It was definitely the fight of the night. I agree with the rating. As for being surprised it was Mickey James, not entirely. But I am glad to see her moving up. As for your comment on the women's elimination chamber, that's one of the things that I've been telling Kevin that they needed to actually come up with. You know, I'm one of the ones that's always hashed on, well, we need a women's tag team. We need to get the women in this. We need to get the women in that. Hey, I'm all for a women's elimination chamber. I think we have plenty on the SmackDown roster. We got plenty even on the Raw roster. I mean, either way, with this being a SmackDown pay-per-view, I don't see why they couldn't throw 6 women into that chamber and just let them go at it. I mean, there's a lot of talented ladies on both sides. It's just SmackDown knows how to storyline them better, and Raw knows how to get them in matches better. But this was definitely, for me, a pay-per-view quality match. So I have no complaints on it. You know, great way to end SmackDown for the night. As you can see, the picture there of Alexa and Mickey James. So hands down, I mean, we know now who the luchadora is, and we know now that Mickey is helping Alexa Bliss to keep her title. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens next. No doubt, I'm sure we're going to have somewhere in the next week or so Mickey versus Becky. So we'll just see what happens from here on out. So, Fletch, I'm tossing it to you.
Overall review time, open forum as always. Anybody who wants it, jump on in. You lead off.
I'll start it off here. Wow. This was a very good show tonight. I mean, the matches were great and the whole 9 yards. I didn't really see anything bad on this show. I'm not going to go full out perfect 10 or anything, but I'm going to give it maybe between 8, 8.5, maybe even 9. That's the best I can go. I mean, overall, this show was a little light on matches, but what was there was entertaining at least. I liked the opener the least, and even that being said, it furthered the feud and didn't overstay its welcome. The women absolutely felt like they belonged in the main event, and they didn't underperform at all in the spotlight. This was a solid episode of SmackDown Live, and you should catch the main event when you get the chance. I mean, I can honestly say go out of your way to watch the show because everything on this show was really good. I mean, I can't really say anything bad about it. I mean, the only gripe I really have was the Styles and Miz unsatisfying finish. But other than that, everything else was really good. So that's what brought the rating down a little bit. So I'm actually going to move it up. I'm going to give it between 8.5 to 9 out of 10. SmackDown Live continues to be the best thing going in WWE today. Raw, wake up. That's all I can say. This Raw guy wants to see more from NXT Raw. I mean, they took a step in the right direction last night, yes. But now we got go-home shows for both shows next week. We're going home next week, folks. The final Raw and the final SmackDown Live before the Royal Rumble. We know SmackDown Live's going to deliver. Will Raw deliver? I hope and pray they do. Seeing that I am a Raw guy after all. So that's all I can say on that. So 8.5 to 9 out of 10. SmackDown Live wins again. What else is there to say? So whoever wants to do the review next, it's yours.
I'll take it. I'm going to hit it with a straight 9 out of 10. Definitely, a very good product this week, and SmackDown does keep hitting it out of the park. I mean, Raw's teetering there on some half decent shows, but so far, SmackDown still has it hands down, and I don't know what it is, what kind of little magic that SmackDown's got, but they definitely hit it this time, and definitely did really good with this. So I guess there's not much more I have to say about it, but I am going to head out for the night, so I will definitely see you all next week for Raw. So good night, guys.
All right, good night, Dee. And I'll end it with a 9 out of 10 as well. I'm with Dee Woodson on this. This was a tremendous show. Once again, SmackDown delivers on all accounts. Everything that they have done up to this point has delivered on multiple fronts on everything that we know. Great job as always, and well, there's really nothing more to say, guys. So we're just gonna dive right in. It's time. Lucha Underground, the mid-season finale, and yeah, can you believe it? It's the mid-season finale already. It was an amazing series. It's been an amazing series so far. This time around, it was God Among Men is the name of the episode, and what we had was 3 matches on the card for Lucha Underground. It started off with Tejano going one-on-one with the creepy Joey Ryan. Tejano, the reigning, defending Triple A Mega Campeon, gets the victory on this one. He defeats Joey Ryan, and yeah, this was a very good match. Solid fight. I mean, I'll give this about 1.5 to 2. There's really nothing that I would say that would be anything bad about it. Like I said, it was an okay match. It was a solid fight. Um, I said I got nothing bad to say about Tejano um, more than anything else. So, I mean, we're going to move on with the next fight of the night, which was another one-on-one affair. The man they called Cage versus Ventano. Uh, uh, Cage wins it, and you saw a little more of a mean streak on him. And this was a very rough thing that we saw, and the whole 9 yards. A good, solid fight. But Cage wins, and Famous B and the beautiful Brenda try to show up, and I'm gonna say this. Basically, Famous B. When it comes to him, Famous B. T- he doesn't want nothing to do with Famous B, except it looks like he's got his eyes on Brenda. I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. Famous B's like, nah, he's my guy. He's my guy. I'm all good with that. There's no issue. I love him. He's a cool guy. He's cool. He's cool with me, and everything's gonna be good. Uh, I don't know. Jerry's out to lunch on that. Of course, the main event of the evening was the Monster Matanza Cueto going one-on-one with El Dragon Azteca Jr. Um, and this was supposed to be a one-on-one fight, and they did it in a death match. Basically, Matanza Cueto wins the match by putting Dragon Azteca Jr. He broke the staircase of the temple. He went through the staircase into a bottomless pit. I don't know where that pit is. It was somewhere underneath, and it got so horrific. But Dario Cueto was so happy, so pleased with everything that he did after he destroyed him. He's like, that's my monster. He's my brother. He ain't going to stop anybody. Oh, no. There was one other surprise. Rey Mysterio showed up, and they started fighting. They started brawling, and the next thing we know, Matanza Cueto gets hip toss. He gets back body dropped through the top of the through the ceiling and went through Dario Cueto's office, and Dario Cueto flipped the hell out. He freaked out. He told everybody, get the hell out of the temple. The temple is closed. He tried to throw everybody out of the building, saying, you guys are not supposed to be here. Get out. We got it. Like, he knew something bad was about to happen. He knew something bad was about to go down, and has thrown everybody out of the temple and said, I'm done. That's it. Get out. We need to go. We all gotta go. You're not welcome here. Get out. You gotta leave. What the hell was that all about? I have no idea. But one thing's for sure, guys. Unfortunately, we gotta wait. Now we literally have to wait till the summer for this to be decided. I'm so pissed that I gotta wait till the summer for this, but okay, that's fine. I'm all good with that. All right, so what happens next? It's Ring of Honor time, guys. So what we had here was the following. The first fight of the night was Lio Rush, Donovan Dijak, and Jay White, and they went up against the Rebellion. Lio Rush, Donovan Dijak, and Jay White all wins the match. Jay White pinned one of the members of the Rebellion. Well, the Rebellion flips out, does an attack after the fight, going after Lio Rush, and the next thing we know, the Motor City Machine Gun showed up, and they saved Lio Rush. So the Rebellion all go into full retreat mode, as basically it was Lio Rush and Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin standing tall in the middle of the ring. So the next fight we had was Cody Rhodes Cody Rhodes comes out, and he started poking fun at the crowd in North Carolina, because this is where the show was that night, and he basically ripped on Ring of Honor, calling them the ring of uh, mediocrity and the whole 9 yards. The crowd was asking for Brandy to show up, and the next thing you know, he's like, "Well, you jerk offs don't even deserve to see her. She's a goddess. She's my queen, and you and all you guys are not even fit to see Brandy Rhodes come out here tonight. So no, she's not coming out. Bleep you, Ring of Honor fans." Well, the next thing you know, Steve Corino comes out and he's like, "You know what? I've been wrestling for this business for a whole bunch of years. My time with Ring of Honor has been the greatest thing that happened to me. And you know what? I still got a bone to pick with you. You said some crap about me at you said some crap about me during Wrestle Kingdom 11 that I can't let get shake me, because you started some junk with me after I showed my love about your family. I got nothing bad to say about you. I got nothing bad to say about your father Dusty. I got nothing bad to say about you, about Dustin Goldust. I think you guys are one of the greatest wrestling tandems in the entire wrestling business. Your father paved the way. He gave me my opportunity. He gave me my break when I was a young man starting in this business. He took me under the wing and he taught me the wrestling business. And I've gotten a chance to fight with Dusty. I got a chance to fight with Dustin, and I had a chance to fight with you, and you're a bright star. You're the best thing going right now. You're the legacy of the Rhodes family, and I get that. But for you to disrespect Ring of Honor, to disrespect them, that takes a little something out of my heart, because Ring of Honor gave everything to me when I needed them the most. And so Cody Rhodes says something. Well, I'm not at liberty to mention on air because it is that bad. In other words, he went there. Let's say that. So he took a personal shot at Steve Corino, and Corino was like, "You want to do this? You want to start? You want to start this thing? Then let's go. You and me, one on one, right here, right now." So they get the fight. Fight goes down. Cody Rhodes wins the match. He kicked him with a low blow. He did a low blow before he hit him with the beautiful disaster. For the 1, 2, 3, and then he was going to try to do a beat down after the fight was over. Oh no, but it wasn't going to happen this time around. Jay Lethal comes out. He makes the save, sending Cody to the back. But and a lot of people, you may not know this, Steve Corino is leaving Ring of Honor. He has signed with WWE and is actually heading to NXT. He's going to become an announcer, a commentator for him. If you guys loved him at Wrestle Kingdom 11, which I know I definitely did. I thought he did an unbelievable job. Get ready, NXT. You're getting Steve King Corino on the NXT airwaves very, very soon. Not yet, but very soon. He did say his goodbyes to Ring of Honor. He had an emotional moment with Kevin Kelly because these two guys have been working together for the past 5 years as lead commentator and color analyst over there. And it was a very emotional moment, to say the very least. Now, the next thing we had, our main event of the evening, was the fight that me and Anthony were waiting for. Jay Lethal going one-on-one with Jushin Thunder Liger. Jay Lethal wins the match. He has advanced to the semifinals of the Decades of Excellence tournament, and he will indeed get an opportunity. He will fight I think he'll fight Chris Sabin next, I believe it is. Or maybe not. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Oh, it won't say. Okay, so when the next time I get the spoilers, I'll let you guys know. But Jay Lethal hit him with lethal injection. Basically the springboard into the cutter on Jushin Thunder Liger. Fight of the night. This was almost a 4-star fight. This was unbelievable, to say the very least. I had nothing bad to say about this match. It was an unbelievable matchup. And for all you guys out there, if you did see Facebook this past week, you knew the fight without honor. I was going to talk about that fight briefly. Mandy Leon against Taylor Hendricks. Taylor Hendricks wins the fight. It was a fight without honor. Basically, tombstone pile driver through a pile of chairs. Dear Lord, this was a fight. So what we're gonna have is basically this upcoming week. It's gonna be Marty Skrull versus Jonathan Gresham in a one-on-one match, and the first of the two, um, in the first of the two semifinal fights in the Decade of Excellence, it's gonna be the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, or against member of the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin. Yes, guys, if you remember back in the day of TNA wrestling, this was one of the better rivalries that we saw in professional wrestling, and we're gonna get to see it again. Sabin versus Daniels, and the winner of the tournament will get to go on and fight for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title sometime down the line. And in the main event of this episode, Dragon Lee, Will Ospreay, and Kushida are going to battle in a triple threat matchup. So with that said, that puts a bow on this episode. We want to thank you so much for watching this, as always. And just to give you guys a heads up, if you guys want to know, next week, or I should say this Friday, is another edition of Strictly Sports. And, I'm going to hit you guys up with the lineup right now. So just give me 1 second. It's going to be an amazing show. There's no doubt about it. I think it's going to be an amazing show. And the docket is set like this. So this week, what we're going to have is the coaching carousel in a lot of hirings, a lot of firings. We're going to definitely get into that. Jabril Peppers declaring for the NFL draft. The Yukon women breaking their own winning streak now stands, I believe, at 92 or 93 games. We'll get into that as well. And yes, Anthony, I will be here on Friday, so you got nothing to worry about. I will definitely help you out with this. We got two major stories from the world of boxing or MMA. What's the possibilities of Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather? I'll give you my thoughts about that. And yes, Cinco de Mayo weekend, May 6th, it's been announced. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Canelo Alvarez. So what is going to happen in that fight? I'll let you guys know. So, and then of course, the double main event, the previews of the AFC and NFC championship game, and the power rankings for the NBA. So with that said, that's it for tonight. So for Anthony Florio, for Didi Woodson, I am Michael Fletcher. Thank you so much for watching this. Like this video, share it with all your friends on social media. Leave a comment at the bottom. What did you like about SmackDown Live tonight? Or just give me your general opinion of everything about the show. Until then, Mike Fletcher, you know the routine. 100 hand pounds. We out. Thank you so much for watching. So long for now, and have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye for now.